Tell me what this means when you read the details on this. That Mac Jones didn't throw at practice yesterday during at least the portion of practice made available to the media, but instead he watched Bailey Zappi and Malik Cunningham throw during that session. And
he gone.
Look, Albert Breer, who we're going to catch up with here in about 15, 20 minutes from now, he spoke yesterday that there's people there that think Mac Jones has the yips. It feels like we're watching this guy's NFL career evaporate because of the situation in New England. I feel bad for him. I really do.
I do too. I mean, it seems like from his rookie year to now, he's kind of deteriorated. What I see is a few things. He's lost all confidence. And that's a scary thing. Like, I worry for Bryce Young as well. When you get to any NFL team, one thing, and it sounds like so easy to simplify issues with quarterbacks and say this, but you are throwing footballs long before the intended target is getting to that spot or where he's supposed to be. When your livelihood is literally based on that, every time you throw the football, when your livelihood is based on every single decision you make and it's under a microscope, you have to be so confident in your decision making and so decisive with the way you go about playing in order to be successful. Like, you look at the all-time greats, they don't play the game with any hesitation. They just play. And it's like one fluid, beautiful thing to watch, right? Like, watch Rodgers play, or watch Brady or Manning or, Favre, whoever. The greats now. Look at Patrick Mahomes. They just play. When you notice guys who are hesitant, they're like double clutching, they're throwing balls and it just doesn't come out of their finger quite right because you can tell they're not confident in that throw. And it's gotten to the point now where I think because of all the adversity, everything that's been said about everything he's gone through, he's lost a lot of confidence in his ability to be the quarterback that he can be. And there's other quarterbacks who fall in that category. Like, this is a young man that I remember meeting at an event in Baltimore in Under Armour. He was a confident, super smart, super accurate young man. I mean, highly, highly, highly competitive. And this is amongst, Trevor Lawrence and some others that were there. And like, somewhere along the way, obviously, since he's gotten in the NFL with everything he's been through, the adversity now has struck a chord with his ability to be confident in the way he's playing. So, is it the yips? I mean, only he would know, only they would know, people in the, behind closed doors. But you could see that right now in the decision-making and the way he's playing. Like, he doesn't feel confident about anything that he's doing right now. And rightfully so, based on last year and the play-calling situation, and based on this year and how things have gone and them not having, many easy layups or throws for him. Everything is strained and tough. So that, I would say that's like the singular thing that stands out. But if he's not throwing right now, they're clearly maybe kicking the tires on either Bailey Zappi starting and Malik Cunningham playing, or maybe a combination of both, and there's a package for Malik Cunningham because he's more of a dual-threat style quarterback that can come in and change up how a defense plays you. So it's never a good sign if you've got a guy who's been starting who's not out there throwing any balls,
there's
at least
no
in the periods that they're watching.
Of using him. Case closed. There it is. Verdict is in. The jury came back. The judge rendered the decision, the verdict, and it is, that's correct. You will not play.
It feels worse than the Zach Wilson situation.
It seems more decisive than the Zach Wilson situation.
The tough thing is Mac Jones was a ready-built NFL quarterback, right? When you looked at what he was asked to do at Bama and you looked at his skill set and where he excelled, it was this thought of, hey, he's playing at the highest level in college. He's playing at a really high level the way he's playing, and he can handle all of what's going to be put on his plate. And I thought his rookie year he did that to some degree. And the tough part is it's trying to figure out where everything went wrong. As far as where we've gotten in the past, 3 years, how you go from a guy who's 68% completion percentage, throwing 22 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, almost a 2-to-1 ratio, and for 3,800 yards, whereas now everything has been kind of on a decline since then. And look, he takes the blame for it, but honestly, it's not all on him.
The whole team has deteriorated.
Right.
That's the thing about it. Like he can take the blame for it, or he will take the blame for it, but the whole team has deteriorated.
Can I ask you guys
production has.
a question without you looking? You got to have a quick answer on this, okay?
All right.
Name the leading receiver for the New England Patriots right now.
Yep. Wouldn't know.
Really? You don't know that?
Who is it?
Jonas?
You really
I'm
don't know
looking
that?
at you right now.
No, Jonas is looking. He's
I'm
looking it
looking
up.
at him. I'm looking
Name
at
it, Jonas.
He's jogging
Name it,
his
Jonas.
brain, but go ahead.
Name him.
Juju Smith-Schuster?
No. Demario Douglas.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
think
even
about
know who that is.
Well, and again, he's a first year player. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're high on him. They you know,
Yeah.
they
No.
tried
Look,
to-
he's. I believe he was drafted in the 6th round this year. He's got a lot of burst and speed. 5'8", about 190 pounds, right? But he can separate. But that's kind of my point. Is like when he first got there, you felt a little more confident in who he was throwing to and the weapons that they had. And it's just there's not much help. And actually, if you go back and look at the 2 interceptions, look who he's targeting. They're constantly trying to get the ball to Demario Douglas. It's a tough spot though when you're trying to get the ball to a rookie or younger, inexperienced player.
But it does come back to what you were saying though, Q, in terms of losing that confidence. You could put Randy Moss, T.O., and Jerry Rice out there, and he's still going to have trouble getting the ball to those guys. And
I don't know about that.
and here's the reason why.
Those guys are pretty good.
Take my chances.
I actually would like to see what this would look like.
Here's
with those
the
guys.
reason why.
I don't know.
Because if you are being judged, it actually would probably put that much more pressure on you to be able to deliver it if you had those guys out there. And with that being said, us as defenders, when we're doing our weekly scouting report, we know exactly who those guys are that you're talking about. Yeah. We know that you're going to take, even if they are super, super good targets that they have, we know exactly if the quarterback coming into the game is one of those Patrick Mahomes or Brett Favre's that he is going to throw the ball. He has no conscience. He doesn't care. He's going to go after it. And everybody, like you said, they praise him for that. Like it's like we're in the meeting room watching. We like, man, dude is unconscious in how he goes after it. But we also know the guys that you're like, yeah, this guy's playing for his job. This guy has had a bad season. He's continuing to try to fight his way out of the slump that he's in. We take those things into consideration because it's that extra moment in time. You don't get but so much time in the league. You get so much time, and that equals a sack, a fumble, a broken up play. It never really, unless you get like the Mike Vicks and the guys that can actually kind of prolong the play like how Ben was in his prime. If you can get guys who can extend the play, like even right now today, a Patrick Mahomes, those guys tend to be able to make great decisions even when the play breaks down. It's almost a part of the play design. You come into the game knowing who those quarterbacks are. The list of guys is very short on who can do that. So the rest of them, we're like, yep, this is a 5-sack game. This is a 6-sack game. Yeah, this is a 2-3 interception game. We know that coming in because you don't get that amount of time. And that's what we're banking on when we're doing our film review. You're trying to gain every bit of a confidence or competitive edge that you possibly can. And little things like this lineman, he's been getting beat off the ball for all season. Like if you do this, if you shift, he's going to jump. Like we can get an offsides. We can draw an offsides on this guy. You make book on what guys are struggling with on the other side of the ball.
I'll bet Mac Jones hates John Lynch's guts because John Lynch was the guy who wanted Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan was the guy who wanted Mac Jones. And just think about how much different his NFL life would be if he was in San Fran right now. Damn. That's brutal. And instead it's Brock Purdy.
But then again, it didn't work out for Trey Lance in San Francisco either, though. So that's kind of not fair. He's not even in San Fran anymore. It ain't like he burnt the world down, set it on fire.
He didn't really get a lot of opportunities. He got banged up and
but who's had the better career so far? Mac Jones or see, I think that's a harsh one. I mean, he might have done much better with Kyle Shanahan.
Mac Jones made it to a Pro Bowl.
There you go. So I didn't even know that.
I know y'all didn't. That's why I'm trying to put you up on some game.
Yeah.
See what happened? Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it. I got it.
Cereal.
I got it.
Cereal.
Yeah, right. 9 to 11 Pacific.
Yeah.
Noon to 2 Eastern every
I
Saturday.
mean, I'm just saying, like, I think it's just an interesting case study because, unfortunately, everything outside around him, and LaVar, you just said this, like, it's kind of deteriorated. And I think that's deteriorated his ability as a player, but also his confidence in his own play and how he can perform out there.